Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Code. One topic, no script. And today we are going to get political. We are talking politics in comics. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one away. As far as politics in comics go, I think that it has a place, but I don't think it needs to be a necessity. And with that being said, as far as comics with or politics having a place in comic books, yes, it needs to be there in certain aspects, right? Because you need to know kind of sometimes how one character feels about specific things. Take Spider-Man, for example. Spider-Man is a very vocally left-leaning, a Democrat. And if you go to another character like the Punisher, for example, I think he's more akin to a right-leaning aspect or a Republican. And those two characters have been pretty vocal about how they feel about certain societal issues and political issues.
Right.
I think that needs to be there to establish personality in their character, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, as far as like the place for it, I don't think personal politics needs to come into comic books. And we have seen that too many times from too many creators trying to throw in their personal opinions into a fictional world and imposing themselves on what's going on. And that I disagree with. It doesn't matter, at least to me, this is just my opinion.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me how you feel or where you stand on the political spectrum, right? That is inconsequential when it comes to reading these books. The whole point of reading these books, at least to me, is to escape the craziness that's going on in front of us right now and to pull away from that and get into something that I don't have to read about how much Democrats hate Republicans or how much Republicans hate Democrats or how much both of them think the independents need to pick a side. I don't want to read about any of that. And I don't want to read about how creators feel about specific things that are happening politically or how they feel about a particular candidate or a president. I don't care. Right. I just want to read comic books and I want to escape from the real world for 30 minutes while I thumb through 26 pages. You know what I mean? So politics as a whole, yes, but personal politics, no. That's my initial take on the subject.
Okay. I mean, with that see, for me, this is a not touchy subject, but to me, it's more of a, I don't know. We're gonna get flack on this regardless. You know what I mean? Like you even just saying Spider-Man's Democrat and Punisher's Republican. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get comments somewhere being like, you know how wrong you are. And that's fine. You guys can do that because that's why we have a show.
Exactly.
So please argue. We'll explain our opinions and you guys can
politely. Don't be a jerk, because
I've seen what you're about to say.
If
I'm glad you pulled back a little bit.
If you're a jerk, then your whole argument is null and void. But if you can express opinion in a proper way, we'll listen.
No, I'm gonna listen either way. If you're talking, if you're yelling at Tim, I'm gonna be there. I mean, in the nicest way possible. But exactly. Okay, so with politics, even in real life terms, I hate politics so much. I don't care, dude. When people say, "Oh, they're left," I'm like, left-handed. Like,
yes.
You know, what do you mean? Oh, they're so far right. Like they're right in terms of like what they're arguing about. Like, I don't care because I get it. It affects the world, but there's a lot more that affects the world than just one person and one side. When it comes to it in comics, though, I don't think it should deserve a place. And especially with, like you said, with personal politics, there should be no place for it in comics. Comics is a way to escape the real world, not a way to establish more. Right. You know, you could be having a horrible time about, you know, what's going on in the world. As someone that's non-political, I care less. But as someone just say that is,
Mhm.
you might drop a book because of the fact that you didn't agree with their stance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then it's only because of the fact that you know what the stance is. So for me, I'll go with this. There was
Mhm.
a Captain America comic. It was I think it was 95, I believe.
Okay.
Where the president of the United States, or the guy that was running for president of the United States, wanted Captain America's endorsement
Okay.
in it. And Captain America just looked at him and goes, I will fight for this country. I will fight for the people, but you will never have me pick a side.
See, and he even did that in Civil War too.
Yes, but as a political aspect of it,
Right.
for a running candidate,
Mhm.
he's like, I'm here because of the fact that I love the country. I'm not here for you or them. I'm here for
Right.
me and to protect these people around me and their
Mhm.
rights. Now, there's one that I always remember and I always bring up is whether you were with him or against him. That doesn't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care.
Mhm.
Okay. In Dark Knight 3, Frank Miller was writing it,
Mhm.
and there was a whole thing on Trump in there. And near the ending of it, you realize Trump was a puppet being played by the Joker.
Ah, okay.
Basically meaning he was just a puppet on a string at that point.
Mhm. See,
Now,
that's injecting personal politics and personal
that's
feelings into your
personal opinion.
books.
Now, whether, like I said, you're for or against it or him, that's entirely up to you. Your vote counted either way, But to me, why put that in there? Because now you're putting a stigma not only on a character
Mhm.
that people are loved and cherished for years, but you're also putting one on yourself, which he's gone downhill if you haven't noticed over the last couple of years. It should not serve a right within this medium. Now, if you
Mhm.
were using fake names, or Joe Smith is the president right now,
Right.
or you could be like this Supreme Court leader Daniel Cortez, that's a different story. You need them to progress the story because of whatever arc you're going through. But if you're using real life names, real figures in our political community, that needs to stay out. You can use a likeness, you can make them kind of look like somebody, but I wouldn't use them by name.
I agree. And like in Civil War, I think George Bush was president during that time. They used him specifically in there when characters were choosing sides, and Spider-Man meeting Obama, and even
Yes.
Captain America going into the Oval Office with Obama. But I think at the end of who will wield the shield, it wasn't like you knew it was Obama, but I don't think he
They
was
use a
named
different name.
specifically. Exactly. Right. And that's what I like when they
Mhm.
do things like that, like what you said, the likeness, not the person specifically.
Yeah, and there I can agree there might be times you can use it.
Mhm.
You look at the 9/11 Spider-Man issue, for instance.
Mhm.
You can use it. I would say yeah, because that's national. A, it was national tragedy.
Yeah.
B, though, whoever was at that time, you could take a photo of it. It's always gonna be iconic, and have that implemented in there in a drawing.
Yeah.
But my personal belief is that politics should play no part. Personal politics should play no part. Now,
Mhm.
I'm saying personal because of the fact that there's always gonna be this type of politics in comics, no matter what
Well,
happens.
yeah. I mean,
But
look at the things behind me.
exactly. And if you want to use it to drive a story as non-personal, that's amazing. Get to the next arc, get to what you're trying to tell in the
Yeah.
story. But if you're using live figures to do so, you have no place in comics.
Well, see, here's another thing too. Like, let's take Eric Larson, for example.
Okay.
Eric Larson in Savage Dragon, he has injected a lot of
He had a Biden cover.
Well, yeah, he had a lot. He has injected a lot of personal politics into his Savage Dragon title.
Mhm.
Now he has a core group of fans that follow him steadfast through issue to issue.
Yeah.
Me personally, this is just me. I am just one person out of 300 million in this country. And if I were continuing to read Savage Dragon and it got to the point to where I could notice Eric Larson's personal politics interjected into the middle of the story, I would quit reading, because that's not something that I want to
It goes
read.
against your beliefs. It goes against the grain. And it's not something you're interested in.
No.
That's the point I'm trying to make, is if it's personal,
Yeah.
it's an issue to me.
Now, societal issues are different entirely because I
Right.
mean, the X-Men are based off a societal issue. You
Right.
know what I mean? And yeah, it's just Black Panther is based, or at least major points in his history are based off of societal issues. And those things are necessary. Those things have to be in there because not only do comics do what they're supposed to do, which is take us out of reality and put us into a fantasy world, but they're also supposed to educate too when it comes to things like that.
Yeah. And like I said, you could have your opinion on it. Obviously, like I always say, whether you're right, you're wrong. And if the other person's wrong, they're still right.
Right.
But in this form, for me, like there should be no interjection of personal politics in books. Now you can say you believe X, Y, and Z should be established. Well, X, Y, and Z is not a personal figure.
Right.
X, Y, and Z is a personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but if you said, let's just use Bush, for example, because he was predominant in a lot of books at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you went, Bush is X, Y, and Z, and the reasoning for these things happening is because of Bush, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Then there's a problem.
Now, see, I feel that like with characters expressing opinion about things, like how they feel about certain topics or things like that, I believe that is necessary if it involves further establishment of them as a character. You know what I mean? Like Superman with illegal aliens rights. You know what I mean? How he feels about that, because he himself is an alien from another planet coming to our country,
literally
our world. Exactly. And how he feels about immigration.
See, now that's a societal thing. That isn't a political figure of what we're going against. He isn't saying, this president's against it, using president by name specifically. Right. That's wrong. No, right. He's saying that this as a whole should be different.
Exactly. What I'm saying is that his character, it would make sense for him to express opinion about illegal immigration or immigration and in general as a whole, because he himself is part of that conversation. But, to talk about hot button topics and things like that, and to interject characters into topics that I won't even begin to name or go into because they are just so red hot with buzzwords and difference of opinion. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's necessary for characters to specifically state how they feel about that, because a lot of characters you already can kind of tell where they stand on specific things. But to force that character to make that stance, I think, is unnecessary. And that goes right back into personal politics and personal beliefs, interjecting that onto a fictional character that's already been established. And I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, like if you took Spider-Man and he's like, I want the Klan back together. Now that is like, whoa, dude, like that's a personal thing. Yeah. At that point, I'm trying to make
Spider-Man would never say that.
but the person who wrote him, if he did, be like, hey, this is what I think, and Spider-Man's gonna say it. People listen to Spider-Man.
We here at Marvel highly apologize for what said artist, writer, and or letterer did to this issue particular.
Look at the artist on Immortal Hulk.
Wasn't he the same one that did X-Men 2?
Yeah, he was the same one.
That's right. Yeah,
putting all those political what do you call it, propaganda in the background in his photos, so that when people, when they finally caught him, and they're like, yeah, you're done.
You got to go. You can't do that. You can't do that because you're putting in how you feel about a particular group of people, and that is completely wrong.
Well, it's not even a group of people. It's literally personal aspect of that group of people. It isn't like you could put a group of people in anything. We literally had Frank Miller write Superman versus the Klan.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm trying to get across.
But to sit there and go to target, let's put it that way, to target an area, that's a different story.
Absolutely. So I guess my bottom line is politics as a whole, for progression of story, yes, but personal politics, absolutely not. I don't think that has any place in comic books, and I think that needs to stay out. Societal issues, absolutely, because those need to be discussed, because these characters are as human as we are in our minds, even though they're fictional, but these are characters we can relate to. So yeah, that's the bottom line on how I feel about it.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm just gonna state it as this: if it's a personal political aspect, no, it does not belong in comics. I'm sorry.
Right on.
Like, and you guys can shoot on me all day in the comments. I welcome it because, again, like I said about 7 times, I don't care.
Well, see, and that's the thing is everybody that's watching this now, you are allowed to have your opinion. That does not mean
No matter how wrong you are, you're right.
That's right. But your opinion is not constituted as fact. Your opinion is your opinion, and everybody is entitled to an opinion. And if you remember what your mom, dad, grandpa, or grandma used to say, then you know exactly how opinions smell. And we'll just leave it at that.
How do they smell?
Opinions are like,
yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
But they don't smell like them. Everyone has one.
That's right.
I think you used the wrong terminology there.
You know what I mean, though.
If you're sniffing them, there's more of a problem than personal politics going on there. You got personal issues.
That's right. And don't interject those into my comic books, darn it.
But Tim's free to interject them into his face.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Jamie, before we get out of here, do you have anything you want to say to our wonderful audience today?
I can muster the words without dying right now. Yeah, guys, as always, be kind to one another, even in the comments, because I know we're going to get some hate here. But yeah, you don't know what anyone's going through. And even, making someone smile could change the whole perspective of their day, their life, for instance. Mm-hmm. I just want to, tell you guys, thank you for everyone who's followed and subscribed so far. We're still going for that fight for 50 here with Twitch, and we're trying to get to 100 now. We're so close on YouTube. So guys, we got content every day for you. Hit that notification bell, subscribe, hit the follow here. We're streaming about, I want to say, a good 10 to 12 hours a week now.
Yeah,
at least.
Pretty close.
So definitely you guys can find us. And guys, as always, I will see you in the next one.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we are on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on Twitch, over on YouTube, and on TikTok, and our shiny Discord. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that is where you will find us. Don't forget, we are also streaming on all podcasting platforms. Pick your favorite and give us a listen. Again, all you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and there we are. Once again, my name is Tim. This wonderful guy over here is Jamie. This is Breaking the Code. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.